There's always a lot of new and exciting tech coming into the VR space, and there's no better place to experience it than AWE. I'm here in Long Beach, California at the Augmented World Expo, and I've spent the last few days experimenting with some pretty cool VR tech, from haptics to gloves and even treadmills. So today, let's break down the coolest XR tech at AWE. Now, personally, for me, one of the most exciting things that I've gotten to do here at AWE is a first look at Samsung's Project Muhan, which is the Samsung Google XR partnership headset. Let's take a look. We don't know a lot about this headset yet, but we do know that it's going to release later this year, and they're calling it Project Muhan for now. They only shipped one to this entire event, and one of the restrictions was that nobody could use it or play with it. So even though it's not demo ready, it looks really, really cool. There's a lot of speculation about what the actual features are going to be and what the actual specs are going to be, but we know that it's going to have eye tracking, we know that it's going to have hand tracking, and we know that it's going to run Google's XR platform, which will be kind of a new thing. Now, kind of like the Apple Vision Pro, it is going to have a separate battery pack, but it's already lighter than the Vision Pro, allegedly. And we're getting all the cool fancy features like pancake lenses and 8K OLED displays. But other than that, we're just going to have to wait and see.
Sony made a surprise appearance with their Zen headset, and this one is a big step forward from what we've seen in the past. For starters, it features an 8K OLED display, which is the preference of a lot of VR enthusiasts right now for its visual clarity and deep contrast. It's easily one of the sharpest looking headsets that I've ever worn. Another surprise is that it charges via standard USB-C, and while this might not sound like a big deal, it kinda is. Both the original PSVR and PSVR 2 relied on proprietary cables that Sony doesn't sell replacements for, which make repairs and long-term ownership kinda frustrating, so this does feel like a welcome change. It also has a built-in battery and wireless functionality, meaning that it can run standalone, something Sony's PlayStation VR headsets have never done. And that alone seems to set it apart as a more flexible device. The demo that I tried was focused on the XR capabilities of the headset. I used an AutoCAD program to manipulate 3D shapes and work in virtual space, and I've gotta say, it kind of felt like being Tony Stark. The tracking was smooth and the visuals were very crisp, and the whole experience was clearly designed for professional applications. Now, this definitely isn't a headset that's meant for the average gamer. The price point is about $4,750, which means it's firmly aimed at enterprise and design professionals who need powerful XR tools. But hopefully some of these updates are things that we'll see on the next PlayStation headset. Before we go too far, I have to talk about one of the most sci-fi pieces of tech that I got to try, the Freeaim VR shoes. These are robotic shoes that let you walk in any direction in VR while staying in a small play area. It's like putting two mini omnidirectional treadmills on your feet. They're still in development, but they already feel surprisingly natural for walking, turning, sidestepping, and crouching. What's really interesting to me is that they connect wirelessly and integrate with Steam VR games that support smooth locomotion, so you don't need any extra harness or giant treadmill setup. It's a compact but ambitious attempt to solve VR locomotion, and they're planning to offer pre-orders in 2025 for around $1,000. Safety features are built in, and every pair comes with a walking support frame if you want that extra reassurance. To me, it's one of the most exciting steps, quite literally, that we've seen toward natural movement in VR in a long time. After that demo, I got to try the SenseGlove Nova 2, and this thing really surprised me. It's one of the only wireless gloves for VR that offers active palm feedback, which means that you don't just feel resistance in your fingers, you actually feel virtual objects in the center of your hand. And based on my experience, that feedback does make a massive difference in how natural the interactions feel, especially for training and multiplayer applications. If you're grabbing a virtual tool or passing an object to someone else, the sense of presence is just on another level. It's built with XR in mind, and it's a clear sign of how nuanced haptics are evolving.
That's me holding the ball right there. That wild? That is wild. Like it's holding me there. Okay, so I gotta put this in here. It's weird because like the pressure's not coming from the inside. Like it feels like your finger's being pulled back, but you can still feel it there. Yeah. I don't know. But it's cool. It's a cool experience.
We also stopped by the Play for Dream booth to check out their new MR headset. Now this thing is sleek, like really sleek. It features full color pass-through, inside-out tracking, and a super lightweight frame that makes it super easy to wear for extended periods. One thing I noticed right away was the comfort. It's lighter than the Quest 3, and because of the battery being in the back, it doesn't feel front-heavy. They're aiming this squarely at the gaming crowd, by the way. Their demos included spatial games that were designed specifically for mixed reality environments, but I played VR games too. The pass-through on it was a lot more reminiscent of the Quest Pro than the Quest 3, but the excellent depth accuracy really sold the mixed reality experiences. And despite Play4Dream being a relatively new name in the space, the headset's performance was smooth with minimal latency, and the visuals on the 8K OLED display were the best that I saw all week. Now this is a high-end headset priced around $2,000, but based on the build quality and early demos, this could be one of the best newcomers for the mixed reality headset market in 2025.
That looks great. I love these controllers. These are great. They just feel so comfortable in your hands. They're just super light. The joystick response is great. And I like the fact that the grips actually click on these. And there is something to be said about experiencing VR in 8K OLED. It's crystal clear. It's crazy clear.
Now let's talk about locomotion, specifically the XelerateVR OT1. This is the newest generation of omnidirectional treadmills, and honestly, it might change the whole game. Unlike older models that had concave surfaces and slippery shoes, the OT1 uses a flatter ball bearing based surface combined with motion tracking to create a surprisingly natural walking experience. I demoed the basic exploration environment where I could walk and rotate freely, and while there's still a learning curve, it feels way more intuitive than the older treadmill setups. Not to mention it's a lot quieter than older treadmills, so it feels a lot more designed for home use, where you won't disrupt people by playing on it. If they can hit a competitive price point on this, it might be the first omnidirectional system that actually finds a home in consumer VR setups.
Stamina low. Run, 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 run. Dead. Okay. That was great. That was a lot of fun. I'm tired now.
The Mech 1 by Ethereal Matter is a full-body motion platform that gamifies movement in VR. It's built to turn balance, agility, and motion into inputs for active experiences. Think of it as a cross between a fitness rig and an immersive ride. They're aiming for venues like gyms, trampoline parks, and arcades where fun and fitness kind of go hand in hand. It's definitely a creative twist on physical XR engagement.
Oh no, I'm gonna crash. I crashed. Okay, all right. Arms up.
Next, we have the Hapticos glove, which takes immersion pretty seriously. It offers force feedback on each finger and adds vibration to make the interactions feel more lifelike. The unit I tested was kind of bulky, but the layered sensations were impressive. I think with refinement, this could become one of the more versatile haptic gloves on the market.
Yeah, that's very cool.
TempSense focuses solely on thermal feedback, and it does that very well. Hot feels hot, cold feels cold. It's simple but effective. It's not meant to compete with more complex gloves, but for experiences centered around mood, environmental realism, or therapeutic uses, this glove adds a unique and convincing layer.
Huh. That is pretty cool. Put that over there, it heats up, and then it cools off. It's the TempSense. All right, check it out.
Finally, we got a chance to check out Udex Real's UdeCap VR glove. And this one's clearly built with technical training and simulation in mind, even though I played Blade and Sorcery on it. The glove features full hand tracking with precision finger sensors, allowing you to manipulate virtual objects as though you were really holding them. There's no haptic feedback in this version, but for developers and researchers who just need skeletal tracking in VR, this glove definitely gets the job done. If they eventually bundle this with a low-cost SDK, it could easily become a go-to for enterprise and indie developers alike.
Yes!
Let's go! Yay, work!
That just about wraps up my time here at AWE 2025, and there's no doubt that this event has brought some of the more promising VR tech that I've seen in a while. From gloves that let you feel the temperature to treadmills that let you feel like you're actually walking in virtual reality, it's really clear to me that there's a new generation of small companies that are really trying to push the limits of what VR and XR related tech can do and how immersive it can be. I think what really stood out to me the most this year was not necessarily the tech and the hardware itself, but the shift in the mindset. 5 years ago, the conversation was all about VR, and that was the buzzword. Nearly every company that I talked to used the term XR. It feels like the industry is moving further away from isolation and more into integration. Every headset has full color pass-through, and every glove, treadmill, or haptic device is built to blend the digital world with the physical one rather than separate them. And it's not just about entertainment anymore. These devices are turning into tools. Tools for work, collaboration, remote training, medical applications, physical fitness, you name it. We're entering a time where immersive tech is expected to fulfill a purpose beyond just entertainment and fun, and that feels like a really big deal. So here's my big takeaway from AWE 2025. We're no longer just escaping into the digital worlds, we're bringing those digital worlds into real life. That is a major shift in what the whole industry is becoming and what it could become. But let me know in the comments which products you were most excited for at AWE and maybe what I missed or what I should have talked about. Also, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and check out fixmyoculus.com for more VR related parts, repairs, and tutorials. Also, today is the final day of our Blackout Quest 3 giveaway, so if you've not had a chance to enter yet, go enter. The link is in the description below and you can maximize your entries anytime before midnight. But that's all I got for you guys today, so we will see you on the next one.